without Vic. "I hope you like the way the new paint looks," Vic said, as he climbed down the ladder, bringing his nearly empty tray and roller with him. He sounded hesitant, and Simon knew his lover was worried about making too many changes. "I love it," Simon said, pulling Vic in for a kiss. They were both sweaty and reeked of paint. That just gave the whole thing a naughty handyman vibe in Simon's mind. "And I love that you're moving in." "Love you too," Vic replied, returning the kiss. "And the neighbors already think I live here. The only stuff left in my apartment are the boxes I never unpacked from Pittsburgh." "Saved you from doing it twice," Simon joked, although the mention of Pittsburgh dimmed his mood just a little. They pitched the disposable liner trays and rollers, put the lids on the cans, and washed out the brushes, then headed for the bathroom, careful not to touch any of the wet paint on the walls. The bungalow wasn't that big, but trying to paint several rooms in one weekend felt like it had expanded to be a McMansion. Vic chucked his paint clothes at the laundry room door and walked the rest of the way naked, shooting a mischievous glance at Simon over his shoulder. Simon wolf whistled, then did the same, sprinting to catch up. Vic grabbed his wrist and pulled him into the bathroom. It still had the original 1950s light blue subway tile walls and matching floor, and was likely to stay that way, considering how expensive it would be to change. Simon thought it gave the house character, though at the moment all his attention was on the sexy, naked man pushing him up against the wall and grinding against him. "I saw you watching me up on that ladder, having a fantasy about fucking the sexy painter," Vic growled. He reached between them, wrapping a hand around both their stiff cocks and giving a lazy slide that made Simon catch his breath. "Would it turn you on if I said yes?" Vic leaned in to kiss his shoulder, then the hollow of his throat. "Tell me more." Simon felt shy and aroused at the same time. "So, maybe I called the painter, and I didn't expect him to be young and hot. Then you show up in those tight jeans that make your ass so fuckable, and that shirt that's pulled so tight I can see your nips. And when you bent over to stir the paint, all I could think of was getting you naked and bending you over for me." Vic's rumble went straight to Simon's cock. "Go on." The slow friction of Vic's hand and their cocks together was driving Simon crazy. "You keep teasing me, shaking that tight ass, flexing your arms, and I can tell you're checking me out, too. So at the end of the day, when you tell me I need to make a down payment and there's a problem with my credit card, you tell me I can make it up to you." Simon fantasized as Vic's lips moved down his chest, sucking on one hard pink nipple and then the other, licking across his collarbone. "I don't want to have any trouble, so I go to my knees." "Shower, now." Simon opened his eyes and saw Vic's face flushed, pupils blown with lust. He couldn't help smiling, even though he was stiff enough that taking the few steps to the shower was awkward. Vic pulled him into the shower and drew the curtain, and suddenly his hands were all over Simon as they let the water sluice over them. Simon started to kneel to act out the fantasy, but Vic stilled him with a hand on his hip. "I want to fuck you," Vic murmured. "God, that was hot." Vic reached for the lube they kept in the shower. They'd done away with condoms months ago, after Simon had been shot on their first investigation together. That definitely made spontaneous sex more spontaneous. Simon turned to face the wall, bracing himself with his hands, presenting his ass with a saucy twerk. Vic slapped one cheek, just hard enough to pink the skin, and the sharp crack echoed in the bathroom, making Simon shiver despite the warm water. They'd made love that morning, so Vic didn't have to work hard to open Simon up. The morning had been slow and leisurely, but this was meant to be quick and dirty, playing into the fantasy. "Gonna make you come so good," Vic said as he pushed one finger and then two into Simon's tight furl. Simon moaned and began to move, fucking himself on Vic's fingers. "Damn, that's hot." Vic brushed his fingers over Simon's sweet spot, eliciting another groan, and then withdrew them. He rubbed his hard cock up and down between Simon's cheeks. "Like what you feel? Want it?" Vic played out the fantasy dirty talk. Simon decided they needed to roleplay more often, because damn, he was stiff and aching. "Fuck me," Simon panted. "I want you in me. Make me come." Simon caught his breath as Vic slid into him, slowly enough to give Simon a chance to adjust to the burn, quicker than usual, because they'd just done this hours earlier.